Todd, welcome back to SuperChat.
Good afternoon, Gary. How are you?
I'm just fine, sir. Well, it is summertime. It is warm outside, but business marches on in the administrative offices of the school. Before we do anything, I just wanted to touch base with you a little bit for the benefit of anything new you may have for stakeholders regarding the master facility project. Is there anything new at this juncture to report? I know that we've had kind of a short time frame between the last show and this one, but hey, I'll give it a go anyway.
Yeah, not much, but one important thing, we're now looking at each school site. And what you have to do at each school site is take a soil sample, make sure that the site is capable of putting the building where we think it should best go. Again, remind the voters that we want the same design on each site because that will save us money. So we are looking at the contour of the site, how it fits. We looked at a single walkout version of a site. We looked at a double-story version of a site, and then we looked at a hybrid model. And we think that the hybrid model is best in terms of student-teacher transition. And what that comes down to is if a first grader needs to go to a second grader class for some things, or vice versa, a second grade class needs to go to a first grade class to get some things, the transition is short, easily done, and not going to be a problem for the students. The other thing is we also promised our voters we would have gyms that would be for rental spaces. So we are able to put our gyms and bathrooms in a location where we can lock down the rest of the school while we're cleaning at night, open up our facilities to being rented by our parochial parents and our public parents, and just an overall unique design of the outside of the building. So we are at a point where we are ready to recommend the hybrid model and move forward with it. It's just more efficient in terms of mechanical systems. You have less roofing that you'll have to replace in the long haul, and it fits the contour of the land. And what can get very expensive in building new buildings is moving a lot of land or a lot of soil. So this model gives us the ability to move the least amount of soil, save a lot of money for the district, which means we can put more into the schools. So that's where we are.
Well, there's a lot of forethought that goes into this, and obviously, excellent. Well, as we move on month to month, listeners, we will keep up this routine report to keep everybody up to date on the very latest. Say, listen, Todd, I wanted to ask you about something else. It's a national program called Restorative Practices, and I know that Northwest Local Schools is kind of engaging in going in this direction. Number one, can you explain to our listeners what this is exactly and how it would impact your schools, the teachers, the students, and the parents?
Yeah. Restorative Practices is a way to partner with parents, students, district officials, community organizations, policymakers, and we're trying to move away from the harmful and counterproductive zero-tolerance discipline policies and move more toward a proven restorative approach to addressing conflict in schools. It does no good, as we all know, to continuously suspend it for repeated violations. We have to be more proactive in our approach to getting the young man or young woman to understand why the suspension occurred, but also how do you deal with the situation the next time so it doesn't become repetitive. Restorative practices will allow us to make a difference in how we communicate as a staff, and most importantly, how we communicate as a staff to our students. Some of our kids come to school with a lot of issues. We assume everybody sits down at night and has the meal with their family and has a warm meal, is taken care of, having everything they need, but that's not always the case. So we have to be the one institution that can provide all the supports that the kids need. It's an attempt to be proactive with all situations, so we're able to help our students understand. And we want to foster positive, healthy school environments and help students learn from their mistakes. We originally got into this because we partnered and participated in a grant, Restorative Justice. Our partnership was with Legal Aid, which deals with a lot of our special education services in our district, and the Hamilton County Courts. We actually have a magistrate who is assigned to us. The first thing that we attempted to do last year was we held a truancy court. Truancy court, kids are sent to court if they're not coming to school. And it's not to be punitive and give them more discipline. It's more to find out, hey, mom, hey, dad, hey, young man, young lady, what's going on? What can we help you with to get you back to school? And it'll be amazing once you find out. We had one young lady who, unfortunately, happened to end up getting into a situation where she was being pulled out to do some community service, but didn't want to share it because she was embarrassed with the school. So we worked with the community service agency she had to do it with. We worked with school. We have an alternative school that she could attend. So that way she could do both, still get her education, and she ended up graduating. So this is a way that we want to work with our community. We want to work with our parents. We want to work with our students. We want to work with our townships. We have 3 townships which are very supportive: Green Township, Colerain Township, and Springfield Township. We have great relationships with our law enforcement officers. They work with us and our kids. They work with us on truancy cases. It's one thing to have issues at school, but some are getting into issues with the law outside of school. We're also wanting to help the families get through those situations. So the partnership is unbelievable. The magistrate works out of Colerain Township, who has gracefully given us their meeting place. And they come in and we try to put plans in place that help kids and, more importantly, help families, because it does nobody any good to produce citizens who are not graduating with a skill or a trade or a high school diploma that can get them where they need to go. So we have been training teachers. We have been training trainers. So when school starts August 15th and 16th with in-service days for teachers, they will be trained, every staff member in the district, on restorative practices.
Yeah. Well, this sounds like a good move, very supportive of what needs to happen, actually. Obviously, it doesn't impact every single student, but there's enough of a student population that needs this kind of support. I think this is a great move, a super initiative. And this is a national program, right?
Correct. We have visited other local school districts who have it. The nearest one to us is Hamilton City Schools. But like I said, we had a team who wrote a grant to participate. They went to Georgetown University for 3 days with our magistrate, with legal aid, with our memberships of our team here in the district. And we came up with a plan on how to reevaluate how we're doing things and do what's best for kids.
Yeah, of course. This will be good to see how this plays out, and perhaps on a future episode you can report back on how things are moving along. You know, I wanted to ask you about something else. This is really positive. I was told that Northwest was awarded a straight A grant. Can you describe this for our listeners, and exactly how does this play out?
Yeah, we were very fortunate. 23 districts actually received an Ohio Department of Education straight A grant out of 141 applicants. Our grant is valued at $263,000. We got the ideal because we have a Butler Tech program that deals with engineering and robotics, and we have seen great success out of this program at Colerain High School. Dave Campbell is their instructor and has just done a phenomenal job. It is hands-on. It is science and math related. The kids are leaving this Butler Tech program, going into 2-year and 4-year colleges and having great success. So we were like, why do we not work on putting this in our middle schools to stimulate interest, to carry on the fire that the high school kids have, but to start it earlier so by the time they get up there, there's just chomping at the bit to get more. So our grant was written as a C-STEM grant. And what it is involving and engaging middle school students and using computer programming and robotics to improve achievement in mathematics. We have partnered with Xavier University, who will provide support for our teaching staff. And we have partnered with Butler Tech to look at what they do to make their program so strong. And so our grant was written by Leslie Silbernagel, Daryl Yater, Jenny Blest, and Brenda Miller, all work in our curriculum department. And we have tried a couple other times to get a grant. A lot of districts. I mean, there was 141 this year, but there's been 300 some other years, 200 some others. This is very difficult to get. It goes through some college professors who look at it, look for certain key aspects. The biggest thing is the district has to show that you can be self-supportive. So when the grant runs out, will this program just go away? And we have made sure that when the money is used up, the program will continue to go because it is best for kids. But if you think how kids learn hands-on. All of us have different ways we learn, but you take some book sense. How do you apply the book sense and what you read in a book or what you read online through technology and put it into practice? And the robotics piece uses the math. It shows a real world application of math and why it's important. And the kids will just thrive in this program as they have at Colerain High School.
You know, this is, right down the middle of the whole STEM initiative nationwide, science, technology, engineering, and math, with the Butler Tech partnership that you have going. So, wow, congratulations. That's great news.
Yeah, this is a great honor, and our curriculum department did an awesome job. So we are very excited.
Something else I wanted to ask you about. You have had 2 state champions this year. I believe, one was track, the other baseball?
Yeah, we've had an outstanding year. And a lot of times we talk about teams and their run for state championships. We have a young man at Northwest High School named Malik Beverly. Malik won 2 state championships, one in the 110 hurdles and one in the 200-meter dash. He also entered the long jump and finished second. So as a team, by Malik's self for Northwest High School, his team came in 3rd place in the state of Ohio for track. He is without a doubt one of the best, if not the best athlete to ever come out of Northwest. With the state championships he has and the things he has accomplished is just amazing. Malik has been fortunate enough. He had several scholarship offers, but he has chosen to run track and get his education at Kent State University next year, which is great for us because he runs locally through the MAC schools, and we'll get to continue to follow his success. So outstanding there. The other one is a catcher, Corey Heffron from Colerain High School. I think in the past 20 years, he's basically the only player in the GMC to hit over 500. He was first team all GMC, all city, and first team all state as a catcher. He is lucky enough to continue his career and lucky enough for us because he's still close by again at Wright State University on a scholarship. And this is just an outstanding honor. And, Corey got hurt, missed about 10 days, had to move from catcher to the outfield just to finish the season, didn't miss a beat. He's just done an outstanding job. So we got 2 athletes who not only get it done in the classroom academically, but go above and beyond and get it done on the field of play. And the Northwest Local School District could not be more prouder of these athletes at Northwest and Colerain High School.
And to prove yourself as carrying the ball of excellence, as it were, both academically and athletically, there's the magic. That is wonderful. Well, Todd, good information today. And listeners, hey, listen, if you have an idea for a future show episode topic, share it with us. Just email us in studio number 7 anytime. shout@theflypod.com. And Todd, thanks for joining me here today on SuperChat.
Thanks, Gary, and have a great holiday weekend.